I've owned the Ice Barrel 500 for almost 2 years now, and after using it through every season, there are 9 things I think you should know before deciding to buy it. First off, it's much more comfortable than pod-shaped tubs like the iPod Pro. I like how I can use the walls for support while getting in, unlike pod-shaped tubs where you have to lower yourself without support. For me, it's not that big of a deal, but if you're older or have an injury, having something stable to hold on to makes a big difference. You're also sitting on a built-in seat instead of low to the ground, and that makes it really easy to lean back and relax. The seat also doubles as a step, so getting in and out is a lot easier, and the elevated seating position just feels a lot more natural. But that same seat that makes it so comfortable actually creates one problem. Head dunking is a little harder. The seat blocks you from sliding your butt down, so to get your head under, you either have to bend forward or stand up, turn around, and lower yourself back down facing the other way. I don't dunk my head very often, but if you plan on doing it every session, it's something to consider. Now, the most impressive thing about this tub is the insulation. It honestly has the best insulation of any cold plunge I've ever used. In 95-degree weather, I added 150 pounds of ice to get the water temperature down to 45 degrees. And 4 days later, it had only risen 14 degrees. I tested a cheap inflatable the same way, and it rose 20 degrees in 1 day. The Ice Barrel's insulation has saved me hundreds on ice and water chiller strain over the past 2 years, and compared to other tubs, it's a lot better. Another thing that's really impressed me is how well it's held up. This thing is built like a tank. I wanted something I didn't have to be careful around, and this is exactly that. I flipped it over on concrete, dragged it across brick, and even left it outside in direct rain and sun for over a year and a half. Aside from minor scratches and the side warping a little bit from all that direct sun, it still works exactly like it did when I got it. At this point, I trust this thing to last for many years to come. Now, the next thing to know is that it's much bigger than expected. I've got plenty of room to spare at 5'10", and the water completely covers my shoulders without having to slouch. The square shape also gives your tubs more room than circular tubs do. As far as who it fits, Ice Barrel says people up to 6'9", but I'm not so sure. Someone that tall might be able to get in, but their top half would probably be out of the water. I think people over 6'4" might have a harder time getting their shoulders completely under the water, but people under that probably won't have a problem. Another thing to know is how hard it is to move. It weighs around 100 pounds empty, so moving it up a staircase and into the back of my car with no help was a bad idea. Definitely get someone to help you move it. Once you put this thing somewhere, you'll probably want to leave it there. But every 2 to 3 months when you have to deep clean it, you'll need to move it and flip it on its side, and that may require some help again. So it's definitely doable alone, but a lot easier with the second person. That weight isn't just a bad thing though. That's also what makes it so stable. Compared to inflatable tubs, it doesn't wobble, flex, or move around when you get in or out. And it weighs around 900 pounds when it's full of water, so it's definitely not going anywhere. And the textured floor and steps make getting in and out a lot safer than other tubs with slippery floors. It's one of those things you don't realize until you've used both, but it makes the experience feel more premium. But unfortunately, that premium feeling isn't cheap. Right now, the Ice Barrel is priced at $1,749. There's also a $165-ish shipping fee, which brings you close to $2,000 for essentially an insulated plastic tub. But after using it for almost 2 years, I get it. It's basically a one-time purchase that'll last for years because it's extremely well insulated, durable as heck, and easy to build a DIY setup around. So if it sounds like something you're into, click the first link below to check it out. And by the way, it's an affiliate link, so if you do decide to use it, I'll earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. Now, the final thing to know before you buy it is who it's designed for. If you want something to set up once and use for years, this is really hard to beat. That's especially true if you've done a cold plunge before and already know you want a stable, permanent setup. If you want something you can move around every weekend or throw in the car, then look for something else. Honestly, if you're the type of person who values quality over saving as much as possible, you'd really like this. I like the minimalist style that Ice Barrel decided on and hope they continue in this direction. If you want to know what goes into keeping the water clean, click here. And if you want to see what a cheap inflatable tub is actually like, click here. As always, leave any questions in the comments and like the video if you found it helpful. Alright, thanks, peace.